Princess Kate stepping out on her own this week, a stark contrast to a year ago when she announced to the world she was being treated for cancer in a poignant video.
I should undergo a course of preventative chemotherapy.
The message came after weeks of speculation and conspiracy theories following Kate's abdominal surgery and disappearance from public life. This week's People cover story saying the speculation was overwhelming for Kate and her family, a roller coaster and a tornado. They felt bruised by it, one royal author told People, adding the hardest time for Kate was this time last year, when she knew she had the disease, but she couldn't talk about it. Meanwhile, people were saying horrible things online. The princess explaining last March that she and Prince William were trying to keep the diagnosis quiet until the school break.
And William and I have been doing everything we can to process and manage this privately for the sake of our young family.
All the decisions that Catherine and William were making about what to say, when to say it, what to share, what not to share, had the children at the heart of those decisions.
12 months later, the princess seems to be making up for lost time, once again back in the public eye. On Monday, inspecting the Irish regiment in her official role as honorary colonel, spending time with military families.
Do you like the idea of being in the army as well?
Sharing in a traditional toast. Kate making a comeback in her fashion choices as well, notably changing her style. The palace no longer sharing details of every outfit, saying she wants people to focus on the substance of her work, not just her style. A change in her shared events with husband Prince William, too. The couple appearing more openly affectionate. Baking cakes in front of the camera last month. Kate openly praising her husband for his support, calling him a great source of comfort and reassurance. A royal watcher telling People there's a sense of protectiveness and partnership. The princess still putting her health and family first, but surprising many by stepping up her workload.
So many people are delighted about how she's coming back to royal duties.
A future queen redefining her role and more adored than ever.
And she is now the most liked member of the royal family, ahead of her husband, Prince William, and the King, King Charles. One royal author calling her the monarchy's MVP. Laura, Craig.
All right, Kelly, thank you.
I could certainly see that. For more on where Princess Kate has been and where she's headed now, we want to turn to Vanity Fair's royal correspondent, also best-selling author, Katie Nicholl. Katie's at Buckingham Palace as well for us this morning. Katie, good morning to you. You've watched and covered the princess for some time now. Here we are, 1 year after that announcement. What stands out to you, Katie, in terms of her reintroduction, if you will, to royal life?
I think at the heart of all of this is her tenacity and her determination, her commitment to duty. It was very important back in June that she got up on that balcony behind me at Buckingham Palace for Trooping the Colour. She was still going through her preventative course of chemotherapy, but she had set that as a personal goal to be there with her family by the King's side. And I think that says everything you need to know actually about this very young, remarkable woman. And I think we've seen her resourcefulness over the past year, that commitment to duty, her commitment to her family. And I think what we're seeing now very much is her commitment to her health. You know, part of what came out in that People article was that her priorities have shifted. And I think anyone that's gone through a cancer diagnosis will be able to relate to that. Your life is never the same afterwards. She has reassessed things, but I think it's wonderful that she's come back with such gusto, with such a zest for life. She's spoken about how her work brings her so much joy. And I think that's so apparent in these recent engagements where we've welcomed her back to work.
Yeah, Katie, I was struck by that as well in Kelly's piece, saying she doesn't actually want to reveal all the details of her clothing anymore. She wants people to focus on the substance. What do you think those new priorities are going to be for her?
Well, I know that it's always been a source of great frustration for the princess that when she stepped out, you know, the focus is what she's wearing. And when she's doing the important work that she's doing, whether that's within the early years or, you know, more recently going and visiting a women's and baby centre at a prison, she really doesn't want the focus to be on her clothes. So I think what we've noticed is perhaps a more monochrome wardrobe, recycling a little bit more, and, of course, the palace not making a point of giving out her fashion details. It's been something of a controversy, I suppose, within the fashion industry, because of course she is an ambassador for the British industry, but she wants the focus to be on her work, and I think that says a lot, because It can't have been easy coming back to work. She's, as she has said in her own words, she's not out the woods yet. She's going to be going through regular scans. She's living with a huge change and adjustment in her life. So when she does go back to work, she wants the focus to be on that.
Well, and Katie, to that point, we still don't know exactly what type of cancer she's been dealing with. Not that we are at all entitled to that information, but sometimes people do want to use that so they can raise awareness. It's been interesting that she and has never wanted to do that. Do you think it will stay that way?
It's an interesting question, and I don't know whether it will stay that way. I don't know whether one day she will want to disclose what type of cancer. What I've been told by sources close to both the princess and the king is that it's been a deliberate choice at the moment because they don't want to isolate other cancers. Whatever cancer they've had, they want to put the spotlight on cancer as a whole. It affects 1 in 2 of us, and I think the concern is if they were to name it, it would put too much of the spotlight on that type of cancer. Right. And of course, you know, it's not just one type of cancer, so it's about inclusivity more than anything else. But to that point, we have seen the royal family more transparent, more open than ever before.
Katie Nicholl. Katie, thank you. Thank you for that perspective, Katie. Enjoy your weekend.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.